Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, American Traitor, the trial of Alexis Sally. So evidently she is some woman who was broadcasting Nazi propaganda during World War II. People loved her, people hated her. And then they follow her, and whatever happens, how she gets captured, how she goes to trial for treason, all that kind of stuff against Washington, D.C. That's what it kind of says in IMDb. 5.5 on IMDb, and only 282 people have rated it so far. Al Pacino's in it. So, hour and 48 minutes long. I don't know. It's not really my cup of tea, I don't think, but you never know. We'll get into it, find out what it's about, see if it's any good. I'll let you know. Stick around.
America, to yourself.
Hey everybody, we're at the credits of American Traitor, the trial of Alexis Sally. And no check-ins, not needed. Here's what the movie's about. Alexis Sally, stage name, is a girl who is a United States citizen that ends up moving to Germany at some point. And she was like a singer and an actress kind of thing. And she gets hired by Germans or Nazis to do a radio show where basically what her role is to try and dissuade Americans from participating in the war. And that's what it's all about. They're trying to stop America from getting involved, and she's doing a radio show to help with that. Completely scripted, all that kind of stuff. Well, she gets arrested. Once they arrest her for treason, saying what she was doing was obviously, against the United States. And then it's the whole trial. So it shows her, flashbacks kind of thing. But then going through the trial, Al Pacino is the defending lawyer. So he's defending her. And you know what? I've seen Al Pacino in many, many different things, and he was always great. And then there's sometimes where it's like, yeah, maybe not doing so well. I thought he did a fantastic job in this movie. It's the Al Pacino, and love. I thought, he played it really well. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't see anything that I didn't like him in. I'm thinking of Robert De Niro, but I don't know. If there are movies that you didn't like Al Pacino in, this one's not it. I think he does a great job playing the defending lawyer, older. But it's based on a true story, which I found, I like. And they do show actual footage throughout the entire movie of her, of the time back then, back in the 40s. It takes place, basically, the movie takes place from 41 to 48, 1941 to 48, essentially. And the one thing that, at the end of every movie that is based on a true story, I like to see either pictures, which we got throughout, so I'm okay with that, of the real people they're talking about, but also words, comments about what has happened since the film. And you get one piece of it, and I think it's odd because when I was watching this, there's another lawyer, his name's Billy, that Al Pacino asks to sit with him, throughout this court session. It's kind of like a book of chance or whatever. It just so happens he's going to bring this Billy guy on. But the whole character role was underplayed. It was useless. Now, you come to find out that was real because at the end of the movie, they show Billy Owens. He gets on the screen, he speaks, a little bit about what happened. Very brief, and there's a little blurb on the bottom of him, about him. Not much. But it's really underplayed throughout the entire movie. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's played exactly right, and this Billy Owens character really had nothing to do with anything. He asks him, Al Pacino didn't like talking to the girl, when Alexis Sally in this looks like Angela from The Office the entire time. Couldn't get the image out of my head. So think of that she's in there the whole time, and Al Pacino asks Billy to communicate with her. He didn't want to communicate with her, so he had him do it. But there was no really meaningful oh, that's why Billy's in it. So, sure, they talked back and forth, but there was nothing earth-shattering. His role was non-existent in the movie, so I don't know really what it was like in real life. But maybe that's what it was. It just seemed like a waste of a character for me. So, but other than that, I thought the movie was really good, very interesting, kept my attention the entire time. No check-ins because I think it was easy to explain now that you know it. I didn't have to check in to do that. Love the acting on Al Pacino. I thought she did a pretty good job. And there you go. That's it. It's worth watching. Normally, like I said, I'm not into these period pieces, if you will. You know, I don't like history movies and stuff like that. Not for me, but this one actually worked. And there's a lot more to it. I didn't spoil it for you. There's, you know, a lot behind the scenes. You got to figure out what's going to happen. Like I said, she's on trial for treason, and you know, you want to see what's going to go on. And I can tell you this, right in the beginning of the movie, I didn't like her. You know, I didn't like her character. So maybe it was because she was Angela, but no. All right, so that's it. Check it out. It's definitely worth watching, especially if you're an Al Pacino fan, or if you like movies about history or World War II. Or treason, or court dramas. Anyway, check it out, and if you do, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop me some comments, and continue to tune in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.